In this video, we're going to talk about crypto startups and what actually is being built. This is important if you want to understand the macro narratives over the years, and this is what I did. So the cool stuff here is that you can go to DeFi Llama and see raises. This is the thing I already discussed. If you want to see new projects appearing, you can look for the recent rounds, and all this data is available for free, and you can see, for example, who's backing who and what kind of amount of money they are raising. So this is super interesting. However, the interesting stuff is also that you can download the entire CSV file and do some analysis on that. So I used a basic data science to basically get some information because I was interested how the entire market looks like. And this is what I analyzed in my newsletter, and I'm going to cover that and give you some additional remarks as well. So let's get started. Basically, you have a bunch of categories related to this data. You have DeFi, infrastructure, NFTs, L1, CeFi, so centralized finance, gaming, centralized exchanges, Web3, trading, analytics, mining, metaverse, social platform, and more. And basically based on that, you can see what's being the most popular, and it's still being DeFi. So you have close to 500 different DeFi startups. Altogether, in total, you have 4,600 startups raised money from 2014 to 2023, which is really interesting. And the most popular being DeFi. However, it really varies over the years. So if you see the recent data, this is basically this. So the top three being DeFi, infrastructure, and then NFT, and then we have L1. So all the blockchains, all the L1 blockchains, all the base blockchains, and then we have centralized finance. So everything from wallets that are centralized to different off-ramp, on-ramp solutions, and more. So this is super interesting. The whole list is here, and you can also see how much actually was invested in particular months. And this is actually shows you where are the bull markets, because the more you raise, actually the more it covers with the bull markets. As you can see, November 2021 was with the total amount raised of $7 billion, and that's the most across all the years. And this was basically the peak of the bull market. That was around the time where Ethereum was at the price of like close to $5,000, Bitcoin $70,000. So that was really crazy times, and that was the peak of the bull market, and that was the peak also of the fundraising race. So you can see that how much startups raise will actually correspond to where we are in the cycle. And you can see that in between years, you have much less funding, and this is what's happening right now as well. So crypto startups per year, this is super interesting because it shows you now macro narrative. You can see that in 2019, so that was around the previous bull market, most of the founded startups are in the CeFi. So CeFi and Web3 and infrastructure, this is basically just different centralized solutions that are being built from different exchanges to different wallets to different saving apps and so on. Only 2020 brought actually more DeFi, and you can see that DeFi appears for the first time with over 50 solutions built, and CeFi and DeFi shares a place 50 each for the startups raised money. And then 2021 was the year of the bull market. We have many more DeFi solutions, but also NFT made it to the top 5 with many solutions. We have also 2022, which actually continues the trend of DeFi and NFT being at the top. However, already in 2023, you can see we are not, this is not the entire year. We have still 2 months to go, but almost 3, but you already can see that gaming is becoming more prominent. This already happened in 2021, that appeared at the end of the list. 2022, that's number 4, and 2023, that's number 2 after infrastructure and DeFi. It also means that the potential here is really huge for the gaming. We're still waiting for the AA or AAA game, which means that really expensive, really well made, that will be a big hit worldwide. So we're still waiting for that, for a game that has a crypto component in it. Now, this shows a general narrative, and actually you can think about it this year, that this way, that 2019 was about building centralized solutions and basic protocols, which still were at the very beginning, even though it was the 5th year of basically having this data and people building different crypto startups and fundraising. 2020 was about laying the foundations of DeFi. That was around the time that Uniswap became so popular. 2021 was mostly about NFTs and DeFi, because especially NFTs came along the way. And 2022, all the crisis began there, and we have still DeFi reigning, but you also have gaming coming up. And 2023, gaming is getting definitely more popular. You can see also how many projects were built each year. You can see the peak being 2021, of course, the bull market, and this is how it looks like. So my predictions for 2024, of course, you shouldn't take it as an advice for any kind of investment because everything depends on the project, crypto is risky and so on. But you definitely should have a look at different gaming crypto startups, especially things like that are building games that might be a big hit. So we're still waiting for that AA or AAA game. Though my prediction is that there might be some kind of a company that's outside of crypto that will come and actually decide to do some kind of a token, digital collectible or something like that has a gaming component in it, and that might be a big hit. From the crypto world itself, probably the biggest right now is Ape Token and the whole other side idea from Bored Ape Yacht Club, so Yuga Labs. This is probably the biggest when it comes to the budget and the biggest when it comes to the ambition of creating something. So they keep on building their own multiplayer massive online game. We're going to see what will happen next. Of course, now NFTs are definitely in a bear market, so we're going to see how much of the interest that will generate in the end. Now, on the DeFi side, DeFi is still growing well. Of course, there's a lot of regulations under discussion, especially in the US, but also worldwide, in the European Union, in Asia. The key narrative here is RWA, so real world assets. I was already talking about that in my previous videos, but basically the idea here is that you'll be able to connect the crypto world with the physical world and, for example, tokenize the revenue coming from real world businesses. And this could be huge if it happens, but this also heavily depends on regulations. This is not so easy because when you connect to the real world, you have the real world regulations as well as the crypto regulations. So this is going to be much more difficult to do, and this will definitely require, first of all, more funding. So you probably see more startups raising money for that particular goal, but also you will have to have really good builders who will be able to understand how the landscape looks like. Finally, NFTs will keep on growing, but we're also going to see financialization of NFTs, be that different kind of options, perps for NFTs. You are going to see different launchpads, probably also PFP market will be rethought, so how we think about profile pics, but those won't go away. The big question is whether the big collections from 2021 and 2022 will make a comeback. Will they come to the prices they had? So Bored Ape Yacht Club at the, I think, 150 ETH, that was the top, but you have many other collections like Cyberkongs, like Doodles, like World of Woman, and other top collections that generated a lot of hype in 2021, 2022. Azuki, for example, 2022, that really faded away to a certain extent, and the good question is whether they will come back in the future. So I really like this big outlook. This is for 2024. This is what I'm looking for at the macro perspective. If you want to see what I was looking at the micro perspective, then have a look at my other video, and this is also another article on my Substack. This is about narrative calls. Narrative calls that are micro, so micro level meaning that they actually fade within a month or two or even less sometimes. And this is anything from like meme coins driven by Pepe to Telegram bots like Unibot to LSDeFi, so liquid staking derivative solutions like Pendle and so on. There are many different narratives like that within a year. This is basically looking at the macro, but I also plan to do a video about just 2024 predictions at the micro level. However, those are harder because those change so fast, but definitely there will be new narratives within those three categories: gaming, DeFi, NFTs. So the RWA, real world assets, here are probably the category to look for, and this is the micro narrative or a macro narrative if the regulations will be optimistic and good here. So thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about those micro and macro narratives, what you're looking at yourself, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.